Jim from The Ghost Inside, and you're watching Behind the Ink on PITCAM.tv. So I actually got this tattoo the last time we were in Berlin. It's the Astra logo. And I know that Astra is not a Berlin beer, but the very first time I came to Europe, the first show was in Hamburg, and we got in like one day early, and I think we drank Astra for like 48 hours straight. And ever since, it's kind of been, not my favorite beer, but like my comfort beer every time we come to Europe. I always try to make sure I find some Astra.
I wish we would have brought an Astra for you.
I'm sure I'll find one later. So it's actually a friend of mine who's a tattooer in Berlin, tattooed this on me the last time we were here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you have any others on your legs that are
yeah, this one also. This one also is brand new. I just got in Australia. It's done by my friend Josh Tadaro in Melbourne, and he's been a great tattoo artist for a long time, and it's been cool to get tattooed by him over like the last 3 years. I think he's done like 4 or 5 pieces for me, and we were talking about tattooing on the tour we were just on, and he was like, "Oh, I have this painting. I've really been wanting to tattoo it, but none of my clients like want it. Like everyone wants a custom piece. They want like this or that." And I was like, "You've done so many cool things for me." I was like, "It's cool for me to like give you a space for something that you really want to do." So there's no like special meaning to it for me other than you know, letting my
reminds you of him.
Yeah, like letting my friend express his art. It's cool.
Then I guess maybe let's start on this arm. What you've got going on here?
Yeah, this is sort of my junk arm. This is my first big tattoo. This is done by Jim Sylvia. When I was growing up, my mom and I used to go camping a lot, and this is sort of a tribute to my mom. So it's like, you know, like one of those like oil lanterns you take when you like go camping in the woods and stuff.
What does the 5 mean?
It's just an old inside joke that I got like when I was filling up some of the space. I'm working on this one currently.
Wow.
This is my Jaws themed end to all this tattoo. I probably should have shaved my arm for this today.
You're fine.
So my friend Ethan is doing this one. We're going to finish it in the winter time sometime. I try not to get tattooed too much on tour because it ends up, you know, a lot of it falls out sweating or not showering or whatever. So.
Is this from a tour or something?
Yeah, everyone in the band has this shark tattoo. We went on a tour in South Africa in 2011. Right after we were on tour in Europe with Comeback Kid, we flew to Johannesburg, and we were in South Africa for 12 or 13 days. And Zach had arranged for us to go on a cage dive with great white sharks, and it was supposed to be like on like the 8th or 9th day we were there, like the day we got to Cape Town. But the seas were really rough, and they were like, "We're not doing any tours today." So we're like, "Okay." And each night we would call and find out about the next morning. They're like, "No, we're not doing it. No, we're not doing it." And we're like, "Oh man!" Like we got these tattoos on the first day. They were like barely even healed enough to go swimming, and we're like, "We're not even going to go shark diving. Like this is going to be the biggest disaster ever." But the night we played our last show, the owner of the tour company called and was like, "Hey, we're gonna send one tour out in the morning, no promises. The weather could break or it could be really shitty, but we're gonna take a boat out anyway," because there's a lot of people that came out. It was right around Shark Week, so there were a lot of people that had like booked trips specifically for the shark dive. And we ended up going out, and it was amazing. Like we saw probably 15 great white sharks, and you're just like in a cage underwater, and they're you know, 5 meters long. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Maybe this one?
This here is kind of the band's logo. It kind of came along with the last record. There's, again, like no special meaning to it, but...
well, if this is your junk arm, what is this one?
Yeah, so this is a full sleeve that Jim Sylvia is working on for me. I hate having unfinished tattoos, but unfortunately... he's become really popular, and a lot of times when we're in LA with some time off, he's busy doing tattoo conventions, or he's even just booked out really far in advance, which is a good problem to have. He's a guy I kind of grew up with, and he went to college for art, and then took that straight into tattooing. And he's probably my favorite artist and one of my best friends, but he is almost impossible for me to get into the shop. So we'll finish it eventually.
So. You told me about your tattoos on your back.
Yeah,
shirt's coming off.
All right, sure. I've been working on this.
Oh wow.
For almost a year now. Chris Ruby from The Devil Wears Prada is actually doing this tattoo.
Oh.
And he's a great tattooer. He tattoos kind of on his own time. It's like more like a hobby, which is cool because he's not stuck doing tattoos he doesn't like on people he doesn't know, or like a tattooer in a shop in order to pay their bills like has to tattoo all the time. He only tattoos when he wants to. And I'd always wanted a back piece, so we kind of just like spitballed ideas. I really wanted a tiger, and he was like, oh, let me lay it out like this and I'll do this and that, and I was like, all right, sure. So we've been on tour with the Devil Wears Prada quite a bit over the last year, so gotten in like one big session that was a lot of the line work and laid it out, and then just like a couple hours here like on a day off, or you know, like an hour at an early load-in or something like that. So we'll get that done eventually too. We've been so busy this year on tour that there hasn't been much downtime to like, yeah. But when this tour is over, we go to the US for another tour, and then we have like a lot of the winter time off, which is the best time to get tattooed.
Exactly,
I think.
yeah.
I'll just be laying in my bed, getting lotioned up and hanging out.
I see that you have one here.
I do. Okay.
What is that one?
This says, "Stay what you are." It's a Saves the Day record, and this is actually a awful, embarrassing story. So we were on the Warped Tour all summer, and Saves the Day was on Warped Tour, and I was flying home to my sister's wedding, and I was waiting to get a shower, like right before I went to the airport, and I'm sitting there with no shirt on, like kind of like going through all my stuff, and this guy walks up and he goes, "Hey man, nice tattoo." And I was like, I look up and it's the singer of Saves the Day, and I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. Like in my head, I just instantly froze. And as if that wasn't bad enough, he goes, "Hey mom, come here," because his mom was there at the show, and he like brought his mom over and was like, "Hey mom, like this guy has a tattoo of my band." And I was like, I couldn't even say anything. I was like, yeah, okay, go.
Do you have any other tattoos maybe like that the band has as well, everyone except for the Sharks one? I know that you guys are a big Starting Line fan, so
we
do
are.
You guys have any?
I don't have the Starting Line tattoo, but there is a Starting Line tattoo in the band that I think Jonathan and Zach both have. And
you guys have to get on the boat and get it.
Yeah, I know. I like the Starting Line, not enough to get Kenny Vasoli's initials tattooed on me, but yeah, there's a few other ones. Like we all got this kangaroo by our friend Mitch 13 when we were in Australia not long ago. He also gave everybody a horse. Oh man, this is a terrible tattoo. Everyone in the band except Vigil has a bullet hole that we got last year when we were in Vietnam. The show that we played in Vietnam was free to kids, but it was sponsored by like a lot of like alternative lifestyle stuff. So like a couple clothing stores, this tattoo shop, like a music place, and the tattoo shop like gave a bunch of money to like help promote and whatever, on the agreement that he could be allowed to tattoo the band for free. And we were like, yeah, sure, like of course. So we were like trying to think of these ideas, like, you know, you have the shark from South Africa, the kangaroo from Australia, like what is the thing about Vietnam? And someone was like, oh, we should just get a bullet hole, and then when people ask you, you'd be like, oh yeah, got it in Nam.
Yeah,
and
that's a good answer though.
And then that kind of stuck, and the funniest thing is Andrew got his like kind of in a similar spot on his leg, and it actually got infected. So it was like oozing, like it looked like an actual bullet wound, and when he got home, his mom was like, "Andrew, what did you do to yourself?" So that's the Vietnam tattoo.
Well, thank you for showing us all your tattoos. Maybe next time your back will be done.
Yeah,
something else.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, what's up? We're Mice and Men.
What up? Me and Alan.
Yo. We want to ask Jim from the Ghost Inside a question.
Jim from the Ghost Inside. We hear that you're known to wear nothing but a pair of short shorts and say the words that the sky's out, thighs out. Are there any other funny costumes and or outfits that you enjoy to wear on a regular basis,
and
much
why?
like the short shorts that you wore on a regular basis?
Yeah, when and why?